Maybe I should just turn it over to you, Alexandre, to tell us a little bit about the history, the background of this organization. I mean, why was it founded? Why was it established? Or why was it seen as a need? And how long has it been up and running? And what do you do?
How much time do you have? That's a big challenge. Well, thanks. Thank you very much for having me here today.
Pleasure. Thanks for coming.
Present Switzerland, so communication is not culturally the strongest part of DNA of Switzerland. Our country is we're a country of makers. We deliver first and then we talk about it. So there was kind of so it was not the culture of the government. So okay, we have to communicate abroad.
Okay.
There's a fear of bragging, and some people are not bragging about that.
That's right.
We're very proud of being modest, and we keep that.
Okay.
At the end of so there was still nonetheless activities abroad, and there was some coordination between different agencies back in the days that were promoting Switzerland to be sure that at least we had a shared message.
Right.
And then at the end of the 90s, it started with a sad story. So there were some the Jewish assets in Swiss banks that hadn't been properly followed up. And then it came out that the Swiss banks didn't do all the due diligence. Especially it came from the US actually, where Switzerland was strong under pressure.
I remember that.
Criticized about these assets. And so then it is what it took to make the politicians decide that we needed, because the image of Switzerland was so under pressure, it was at risk for Switzerland, also business-wise.
Sure.
And there were some discussions about boycotting Switzerland in the US, especially on the East Coast.
Right.
So then you say, okay, we need to explain better what happened, because many things that have been said, not hiding the fact that certainly the due diligence hadn't been done.
Yes.
And homework had to be done, and it has legal follow-up and so on.
Right.
But nonetheless, over the noise it generated, some parts were not true or accurate.
I'm sure that's
so. It showed at the time the need for Switzerland to be the one communicating about itself.
right.
So this is how it started. The different layers in the history, but since 2008, President Switzerland is part of the Swiss Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but working with all departments and also with private and public actors on different levels of Switzerland. And we are coordinating the international communication strategy of Switzerland abroad.
So it's gone from defensive to proactive, basically.
It's always a mix of things. So we do indeed inform them. And there's the law plus a 4-year strategy that is defined. So the law has been voted by the parliament, and the 4-year strategy is defined by the Swiss government.
Right.
So the long run is defined by the law, and it's a mix of broad audience and decision takers, taking care of networks, developing networks that are useful for Switzerland, generating sympathy to the country, which is a lovely sentence in a law. It's a pretty rare one, but it's saying it's not having a good image for having a good image. It's important to have a good image in order to support positive decisions to the country.
Okay.
Let it be business-wise, political-wise, diplomatic-wise, science-wise, and so on.
So
a good image. We're in the field of perception.
Right.
A good perception has very concrete consequences. It'd be positive or negative for the country.
Sure. Well, I mean, as an ex-marketing man myself, I mean, what you're describing sounds very much just like a brand, right?
It is, and we have one of the strongest brands in the world. As a country perspective, and many studies are showing it, not only from us, but this is one of the strongest brands. I mean, when you think about it, we're a country with less than 10 million inhabitants, about 9 million. 40,000, I think this is the numbers that have been published earlier this week. That basically we're less than 10 million inhabitants. We are, if you look at the numbers, a G20 country.
Yeah.
We're not part of the G country. We are associated to many meetings, but if you look from a GDP perspective, we would be G20.
Right.
Less than 10 million inhabitants.
Yes, right.
We are the world leaders in the field of innovation. You have great R&D centers for international companies coming here.
Yeah.
We have leading universities. So it's not about bragging about it, but there is something about Switzerland that makes the brand very strong. And you go anywhere in the world, if you show a Swiss flag. My son is 3 years and 2.5 months, whatever. But he's playing with the flag. So we're looking at the flags, and he says which country is which. If you do the same game anywhere in the world, not with kids, I guess, but if you take the flags, I think Switzerland is one of the very well-known.
The most recognizable.
Not only because we are an exception. We are the two only countries with Vatican to have a square flags, not a rectangular one.
Right. Yeah.
But even from that, it's a brand as such. It's a plus.
Right.
We have the red and white effect. So people are knowing this.
Yeah.
In Japan, sometimes it looks like a hospital because in Japan they have it's the same. It's like a Swiss flag for hospitals. But nonetheless, the flag is very strong. The Swiss-made effect is very strong.
Right.
And if you go anywhere in the world, if you say you're coming from Switzerland,
yeah,
never ever it happened to me that someone asked me where.
Yeah, right.
So there is something very strongly. Of course, we're not the US, we're not France, UK, and China. If we're talking about the leagues, but for the country, the brand is very strong. So indeed, we are the brand agency of the country.
Right.
Knowing that the biggest part of the brand is not made by us. It's made by Swiss brands, companies. It's made. I mean, Roger Federer has a slightly bigger impact on Swiss perception that I have and I will never have. So we're more working
at it.
It's good. He's a good partner for us.
Right. Sure.
Because he incarnated some very strong Swiss values.
Yeah.
But modesty, quality, delivering, elegance, that kind of thing. So the image of the country, we are not mastering the image of the country. We're measuring it. And we try to take some marketing, like communication activities in order to mirror the needs we have for the image. But the image is made of many, many different factors.
Sure.